Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Saz Analytica. This is your host, Joe Saz. And today we're going to jump into some price action, see what's been going on with Bitcoin, and take a look at some of the technicals, fundamentals, see what we can figure out real quick. Jumping into screen share now, and let's get the show on the road. All right. So I think there's enough psychology to suggest that this market is ready to get out of this negative space. Any of these moves to the downside seem to be in vain because we're retracing them in full and putting a little bit of an exclamation point on that by going back a bit higher than where we even fell off. So I think it's pretty clear that the buyers are here and they want this seller's liquidity. They want the sellers to dump into their pockets. And you can see this evidence right here. In the order book, we have what are limit buys in green and limit sells in red. Limit sells, you can see that just along the path here, there's just only a handful of individual towers that kind of scrape high, and then the rest of this stuff is relatively low. Now, on the buy side, you can see liquidity, or in other words, these buy orders are stacked so heavily that it's a competition to accumulate Bitcoin at any of these lower prices. So sellers are only doing buyers a favor by selling into this buy side liquidity to give buyers a cheaper fee and eliminate any slippage they may otherwise have by market buying their Bitcoin. And they're just willing to let this keep rolling over and over and over. It doesn't look like we have a seller in the game, in the playing field right now, who's trying to sell, let's say, 1,000 Bitcoin on 10 separate exchanges to knock price down. It looks like what we have are accumulators, whales, average Joes, just everyone stacked with orders on the buy side. And whoever's selling right now is an absolute fool because all they're doing is making it cheaper for those dudes to buy Bitcoin who have orders sitting down below. So I think this is looking real nice. Now, complement that whole statement with the dual band confluence. We have perpetual markets angled up. We have spot markets angled up, and we're sitting at 29,200. This is a point of accumulation now. You have to think the psychology has shifted from earlier this year. What could Bitcoin fall to? 15,000 is good enough. Maybe we should absorb some of this, to 17 to 18 to 20,000, and to 25, back to 20, to 30, back to 25, maybe a little lower. So you can see the progression of psychology is very bullish in trajectory. We move up, we build a place of resistance, we chop at that resistance, do some work, we fall back down, but not too far. There's a safety net down there, and that safety net holds up Bitcoin price. It stops it from going any lower and threatening lower lows and really painting a more bearish picture. So we have consistently higher highs, consistently lower lows, and let's look at this on a macro chart. Higher lows, I should say, not lower lows. Consistently higher highs, consistently higher lows. Right here, this was the only really wild one, and this was very arguably a disbelief phase. Disbelief makes the most sense. That this was just a psychological phase of disbelief, and it's pretty much over. Now we're just getting used to the bull market. But you can see the pullbacks aren't nearly as bad. They take a lot longer from top to bottom. And now we're almost just going sideways. I mean, a move down to 29,000 from a high of 32,000, a $3,000 spread, when months ago we're talking 25,000 Bitcoin down to 19,000 Bitcoin. In percentage, that's a much greater percentage. In dollar value, that's around $5,000. So I think that we're really seeing the shift in psychology in the moment, in the day-to-day, and I believe we are definitely positioning ourselves for a ride up. Now, we don't have any CME gaps, so we had quite a wick today, but it's all been pretty gradual. So I like the fact that it's actually been a pretty gradual run, even though it's been a grind down. We have had some news today about SEC going after Richard Hart. Richard Hart is a former Bitcoin maximalist who created an altcoin. And I'll stop screen share. Richard Hart is a former Bitcoin maximalist who's created a number of different cryptocurrencies. recently, or I guess over the past few years, it's been Hex, Pulse, and Pulse Chain, Pulse X. So the SEC seems to be swinging the hammer, right? The SEC just lifted the hammer off of XRP Ripple, which is an absolute nefarious scam with the founders in control of the entire pre-mine. We have Coinbase saying they received a letter from the SEC saying everything except Bitcoin is a security, but we won't explain why. So we do have a lot of what I believe to be fundamental factors manipulated by whales to try to create a market-wide sell-off. Bitcoin seems to be firm in place. Altcoins are the next battlefield. Ripple, when it got its SEC case in ruling in favor of XRP, it pumped and it dumped, whatever it did, right? Pulse, Hex, whatever it's, these Richard Hart tokens, steep move down for the day. I guarantee you we're going to see some action with those. I truly believe that whales use the media to manipulate the market. They get everyone else to sell their coins, and then they have their orders accumulation down below. So all I would say is beware of these news articles. This is the time to plant seeds for a long-term bull market, which will probably see us at all-time highs sometime next December. Again, not this December, but next December, around that point in time. So this is the time to plant seeds. This is a time for people to get you to sell your corn, to sell your crypto, whatever it is, and wash you out the market, rage quit, and they'll have orders. They have no problem in the world. They have all the money to buy your sells, and they have all the time to wait. And being that right now we're looking at the halvening, Bitcoin halvening in less than a year, May next year, we're probably going to see a legit bull cycle. This is a time where people are going to try much harder than usual to rid you of your bags, try to get you to rage quit crypto and then come back buying a new all-time high, right? Buying their sells when they're selling the all-time high. So just don't be a fool to this agenda. This is something that, as a crypto trader, as a crypto enthusiast, as a participant in the crypto space personally since around 2015, as a trader since 2017, I've seen the whole shebang now 3 times. I've seen this exact same formula repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So I encourage you not to fall victim to the belief that, oh, this time it's different. There's the ETF speculation, or the SEC is swinging the hammer, or the Biden administration is coming down harder on crypto. Whatever the case is, I encourage you to see the bigger picture and realize we are definitely in the accumulation phase of a massive bull run that's probably going to see its high toward the end of next year into the early 2025s. So you guys, be vigilant, be strong, be patient, and just don't fall victim to this trash. All right, everyone, I'll be catching you soon. It's a beautiful sunny day outside, so I'm going to be doing a Bitcoin lounge, smoking a cigar, and chilling with you guys outside for a little while. Catch you guys on another show here in a few minutes. All right, everyone, much love to you all. Peace.